Good afternoon everyone, I hope you're well. This is Andy at Audi Upgrades. Today I've had a returning customer drop off their Audi A3 8Y S-Line. This is for a retrofit that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, but it's taken me a long time to figure out to see if it's actually possible to achieve. And that retrofit is the genuine Audi interior multicoloured ambient lighting on the Audi A3 8Y. Now, as some of you may or may not know, is that when these cars were built a few years ago, kind of during the pandemic and all of that, due to chip shortages and so forth, or at least what we've been told, is that sometimes you could have ordered that option at the factory, but it was removed from the build as the car was built due to those shortages of semiconductors and so forth. This is an example, or a supposed example, of that situation. Customer ordered the multicoloured lighting, but the car actually only came with a scaled down white only interior lighting. There's two things about that. One, it's obviously only white and not multicolored, and two, there's actually less LEDs in the white deployment of the lighting as opposed to the multicolored. So there's additional lights in the multicolored. So it's not a straight swap of white to colored, it's actually white to colored plus new LEDs and new trim pieces and so forth. Now, next thing is that some of you may be aware that it's possible to fit aftermarket ambient lighting kits to these cars. And I've actually got one here that was given to me by another customer who bought it and decided not to use it. This is a kit from abroad, from a company I don't actually know, and it contains an Audi A3, supposed Audi A3 8Y multicolored ambient lighting. Now, it isn't a like for like for the OEM, as if it was fitted at the factory by Audi, but it is apparently close to that. And I kind of wanted to show you this because my website says OEM level retrofits. Wherever possible, I try and only stick with the OEM options from the factory because the parts are better quality, it's a proper factory finish, as if it was fitted at the factory. Whereas aftermarket kits, I'm not criticizing this kit at all. It might be very good, I don't know, I have no experience of it. But it's not OEM. So that doesn't sit well with me personally, and that's just my own personal choice. But I wanted to kind of have a look at it to compare it against the genuine kit, which I've got all down here in these boxes. So for example, in this kit here, so in the doors of these car is you have to replace these trims. Now, you may have seen in the Audi A3 8Y. And this is a copy. This is not a genuine OEM piece, this is a copy. But if I get the genuine one, which I've kind of conveniently got ready here, I'm going to be careful with it, it's expensive and delicate. This is the genuine one here. So they look very similar. I'll turn it around the other way. They look very similar, but there are some subtle differences. One, it's hard to show you on a camera, but the quality difference between the two this feels thinner. It's got a bit of a rattle to it, in my opinion, just my opinion. Whereas this one doesn't. The screw holes do seem to line up, but there's a few lugs missing. So this is the OEM one. It's got some extra lugs to keep it secure. They're not on this one. And obviously the big thing you can see is on the aftermarket one is this cable. Whereas on the genuine one there isn't, because on this we actually plug LEDs onto this, the genuine multicolored LEDs from Audi. So then let me just put the OEM one back. And then I think what happens is that in the Chinese kit, I should say, giving away its origin there, it's a bit obvious with the writing, to be honest. They kind of include these little boxes, and there's 4 of these, I'm guessing one for each door, and it looks like these kind of plug into this, and then it all they include all this wiring in here. I'm not going to get all that out, and then it all seems to go back to this master kind of control unit thing. It just says AML control box on the back of it, ambient light maybe, AML. But as I say, no experience with that, but it's obviously cheaper than the genuine kit because genuine Audi parts for cars, or genuine car parts, are generally quite expensive. But the other main difference of this, other than the fact it's not OEM, is that with this kit on the A3/8Y there's coloured lighting on the dash trim. So the trim that kind of goes underneath the passenger vents, and the trim just here on the driver's side to the right hand side of the steering wheel on a right hand drive vehicle. Now to fit that, you actually have to replace that entire trim piece because the LED is actually embedded within the trim. It's not something you can just add on to a car that doesn't have the ambient lighting from the factory. This kit doesn't include any of those trim pieces. As you can see, it's a small box. So either there's a light going somewhere else, maybe above the vents, and it just sticks in or glues in or something, or it's omitted, because in the genuine kit, which I've got here, if I open up this for you, which I've conveniently kind of tried to keep ready for me, is this piece is the genuine multicolored lighting trim piece for the Audi A3/8Y for a right-hand drive in this, I can't remember what this effect is, metallic something, but you can see the LED strip is actually here where I'm running my finger across, and the LEDs are actually embedded into the back of the trim. So I'm actually going to be replacing the trim in the car with this piece, because this one contains all the LEDs in it. And again, I've got the other piece for the other side of the steering wheel. So there are some differences there, and obviously this is a genuine VW group part. Put that back. And then this one here is the, just put this down here. If I just show you this and wrap it carefully. This is the one for the right-hand side of the steering wheel with the LED in it and so forth. So this obviously doesn't come with the aftermarket ambient lighting kit. And that's where obviously trim pieces are notoriously the most expensive pieces to buy. So it's a way of cost saving, obviously. Now, I don't know how this system works, whether it integrates into the MMI. I've been told it does, but I don't know how. But it's interesting to kind of sit there and kind of look at the parts and compare them side by side. But you know, I'm not saying it's a bad system. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I've got no experience of it, so I can't say either way. But I kind of just wanted to share that with you and kind of show you. But this is all the OEM parts in here. So I've got as I say, I've got the 4 trim pieces for the doors. These are the genuine Audi ones. So I'm trying to keep this safe from damage. Don't want to get it scratched. So I've got 4 of those in here. And then I've got a bag of all the LEDs. So there's about 16 in here, I think, LEDs to swap over and fit. And then the wiring, so I had to figure out all the wiring, and obviously you'll make sure all the lengths are right and everything to give that proper OEM finish, because otherwise you'd have to replace all the door looms in the cars, and it then just gets astronomically expensive. So custom made the wiring with my colleague, and it's all using genuine VW parts and wiring and pins and connectors, and we've actually mapped it out on a car that did have this from the factory, so we were able to take that car apart, make measurements, make the notes, and kind of build out that whole wiring set. So we're fairly confident we've got that right. And then we've also got the LED for the cubby hole in the middle, just above the gear stick there. So we fit that with a multicolored light. And then there's some new footwell lights as well. But yes, we're gonna give this a go. This car has already been here because I asked the customer to come here so we could do a test, because I don't have an A3/8Y to test with. So it was a lot of it was theoretical. But now I've had the car here a few weeks ago. We managed to get a couple of LEDs, and I spent a huge amount of time reverse engineering all the coding needed and so forth to make it all work. Managed to figure all that out. There's a huge number of changes, about 50 odd changes to the vehicle to make it all work as OEM. And we wired up a couple of the LEDs, and they worked, and they were color changing and as per the factory, and it was all on the MMI screen, and you could scroll through all the different 30 colors and all of that. So that gave us the kind of confidence to order all the remaining parts to finish the retrofit. So the customer's left me the car for the week. I'm going to slowly go through this. I'm going to start later on this afternoon and see how it goes. But as I say, not fitting the the aftermarket kit, but must stress, don't have any problems with it, just not my personal cup of tea. So there we go. This could be a first for the UK, I feel, to fit the Genuine kit, obviously. Someone may well have fitted the aftermarket kit in the UK already, but we feel like this is a first for the UK for the Genuine OEM, coded and configured exactly as it was if it was fitted at the factory. So really looking forward to getting stuck into this. I'm going to start on the passenger doors first, and then on to the driver's doors, then the dash trims and all the other bits. And I will keep you posted, and of course take lots of photos and video at the end and showing you, fingers crossed, it all working. But I'm going to leave it at that and get cracking. Many thanks. Hey guys, so part 2 of the video here on this Audi A3 8Y. The workshop is slightly darker now. I haven't had a power cut or anything like that, but I wanted to try and make it a little bit darker to get the ambient lighting to kind of show a bit more. It's a really bright day today in the sweltering heat in the UK. So if I had all the doors and windows open, you wouldn't be able to see very much. So that's what's happening. I've got a light on over there I'm going to turn off in a second. But all in all, I can confirm that this Audi A3 8Y came from the factory with white only interior lighting, and I have now completed 100% successfully the multicolored ambient lighting as if it was fitted at the factory. So again, this is the genuine fitment of the system using the genuine parts from Audi. This isn't anything aftermarket like that box of kit I showed you previously. This is exactly the same as if that box was ticked or if Audi had fitted it when the car was being built. I am absolutely chuffed by this. It has taken me so long to figure out to see if it was even possible. There were a few things that I saw when I was looking into this thinking, oh, I don't know if this is going to work because these cars have new features in them that lock features down. And I wasn't entirely sure if I could find a way around that to make it all kind of fit together and be exactly as it was from an OEM standpoint, from an OEM configuration and setup. But it's taken me, I mean, I haven't worked solidly on this. I've really taken my time, but it's taken me about 3 days. It wouldn't take me 3 days to do again. Now I've done it this first time, and obviously I've documented everything again for my own reference. But yes, this has gone in 100% successfully, and I want to show you that. So I don't know if you can see this on the camera. I'll have a look when I edit this video later. But we've kind of got the red contour lighting is what they call this, the red bars you see here. So all the trim pieces and all the doors have been replaced with the new ones from Audi. All the LEDs have been swapped over, all the white ones have been removed, and all the coloured ones have been fitted. And as I said to you earlier, all the additional LEDs that come with the multicoloured lighting has also been fitted. In addition, I don't know if you can see down here, but I'll show you in a second, rear puddle lights in the rear doors are also fitted. Not part of the ambient lighting, right? They're just puddle lights, but they come fitted with the ambient lighting package. So I could have left those off, but I really wanted this to be 100% as if that was fitted at the factory. So we fitted genuine Audi ring symbol puddle lights. The customer already had some on the front doors. I've now fitted a pair on the rear doors, and I've now fitted in the rear footwell lights that go under the back of the front seats for the rear footwells, because they're part of the multicolored lighting. So again, the footwell lights are all white in the A3 8Y, even with the multicolored lighting package. But if you don't have it from the factory, you don't get rear footwell lights, just front footwell lights. So I've now added the rear ones and wired them in exactly as they would have been wired and connected from the factory. And then took all the dash out, so the screen out, the virtual cockpit came out, all the trims came out, the vents all came out, all of that came out, center console, aircon unit, all that out. And the reason why was because I want to get all the wiring right inside the dashboard, neatly tucked away. Glove box was out, and the new trim pieces around the steering column and along the dash vents there have been fitted with the LEDs in them now and wired up. And then lastly, the little cubby hole light, where there's the wireless phone charger if you've got it, or just a little cubby there just in front of where the gear lever is. That's white originally, and I've now fitted the coloured one as well. So that's part of the surface lighting which is the lower section of the door. So the top half here is called contour, and the bottom section is called surface. I think I've got that the right way around. But yeah, I've tested it all many times, and there's no faults on the car, which is amazing. So as I was fitting it, I was checking the configuration of the car constantly, and it logged all the faults saying, hey, where's all these coloured LEDs? They're all missing. And then as I fit them, and then I look at the faults again, it slowly went down, you know, and it went, all right, I see that one now, I see that one now, I see that one now, I see that one now. And then I got down to the last kind of couple, put those in, cleared all the faults, and it was very happy, and now it's fault-free as well. So let me just grab the camera. I'm going to turn that light off, grab the camera, and kind of show you around as well. So just give me one sec. Let's turn this light off. There we go. I'm not a video expert, so you have to bear with me. Let's grab the camera. I'm just going to flick the screen around on my camera. Okay, so starting with the back of the car. Here you can see on the back left door, you've got the red, and hopefully you can see the blue there on the two lightings there, and then obviously here as well. And as I said down below, I fitted the Audi genuine Audi ring. These aren't aftermarket puddle lights, these are the genuine ones from Audi. I find them much better quality. And then you've also got the footwell lights here for the rear footwells. If I go around to the front, we've obviously got the front door here, front right door. So there's the red there and the blue. That's what I've currently got it set to. And then we've got this piece here with the red LED in here, which wasn't here previously, of course. And let me just jump in the car. And then you've got obviously the main piece here that goes along the vents here, which is also in red. And then finally this front door here, the front left door. So you've got red and blue. And actually not finally, last but not least, is you've got the cubby light down here. So just to show this to you, if I go under lights and vision, background lighting, I am holding a camera, so bear with me. You've got contour, and if you choose contour, everything goes to white. Hopefully the camera can show this, including the cubby light and everything. So everything is basically white. Vision, and actually this screen here mimics exactly what's going on in the car, so you can see all the different colors as you change them on the screen. They will change on this display and obviously on the actual lights in the car itself. Vision is like an orange, I guess. No, that's because I've chosen solar. Let's try vision again. There we go, there's vision. Just show you there, vision is yellow. So everything is yellow, both sets of colors, the surface and the contour lights are all yellow. Now we go to solar, and we've got the orange colors here. So everything again is orange. The surface and the contour lights are all orange. And again, the footwell lights in the A3/8Y are white only. They are not multicolored, at least from an OEM perspective. I'm sure there are aftermarket colored footwell lights, but in here they are white only. And the customer really wanted just exactly as it would have been at the factory. So then we've got impulse, and that's red and white. So you've kind of got the red here and the white down below. So there's red and white. And if I show you in the back here, hopefully you can see that red and white. And then maritime. Maritime is blue and white. Blue for the sea. There you go. And then finally, you've got Audi Drive Select. I'll show you that in a second. And then you've got individual, which is obviously where most people use, because then you can choose by hitting this little button here, and you can then alter the colors. So if we go to surface here, you've obviously got brightness. If I tap the little minus button, just show you that, you can see the all the surface lights go off. So we're just left with the contour lights here, the red. Let's turn that back up. See that? If I turn that back up. If I go to colors, we're on blue, as I said. So let's choose something completely different. Let's try and go with, what should we go? Let's go with green. So if I tap green, number 14. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully this is coming through on the camera. There you go, you've got green there now on all the doors. Like that. And you can turn the footwells on and off. Here you can actually turn them on and off. Now, they're not turning off now because, just so you know, the footwell function here, this function here, and if you see it on the screen, if I just tap that, you can see the footwell lights going off on the display here. You kind of see them being lit and not lit. It will only work when all the doors are shut. So as I've got the doors open here, the footwell lights stay on. So that's why that is, but you can turn them off if you want. And if we go to our contour colors, Again, we've got brightness, so now if I turn the brightness down on this, you'll see the red of the dash and the top trims there all turn off, and if I turn them back on again, yeah, you can see them starting to light up again. There we go, and obviously here as well with my fingers, just on this side. And let's go to the colours, and we can choose, I'll choose number 1, the kind of pinky purple one here. And there you go, it changes to that colour as well. And there we go on the back, it's just showing you on all the doors. So that's that. And obviously, the other thing to know, just kind of a bit of useful information maybe, is when you turn the car off, all the lights will go white, which is kind of nice. And it's also kind of when you open the doors as well. So if I turn the car off here, you can see how everything goes to a white. The actual surface lights here, I'm getting my surface and contours mixed up, but the light that shines down on the armrest, they actually go off on the doors and just the top ones stay lit. But the cubby hole stays lit, so you can grab whatever it is in your cubby hole when you want to get out. They thought about that, so you can grab that. But as you can see, all the other lights turn white, and when you obviously turn the car back on, let's find the start button here, the original colours return. So there we go. Hopefully that's all come through on the camera, but I'm really pleased. Let's just jump back out again, try and show you a bit from a better angle here. I'm really pleased with this. Wasn't quite sure if this was going to work, but it's taken us a couple of visits and tests to prove the theory, and now the real McCoy is in, and I'm really pleased. And I've been very meticulous about all the wiring and neatness, so it's exactly following all the same loom and wiring paths as the original wiring as well, which is great. So I'm looking forward to the customer to come and pick the car up shortly, and I hope that was of use, and many thanks. Cheers guys.